What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Screen Energy. I'm your host, H, and with me is this dude over here.
Big Mike from Big Mike's Real Reviews.
All right, everybody. So it's May the 4th, May the 5th, tomorrow's Revenge of the 6th, depending on who's watching this. So we got a little exclusive Star Wars ditty we want to talk about. But before we get into the main thing, let me tell you how I spent my Friday. And actually, I'm going to tell you a little story how I wound up getting to what I did last Friday. So, first of all, have you ever had a chance to see any of the Star Wars movies or any of your favorite movies in general in concert with the full orchestra?
No, that seems very intriguing.
It is a different experience. I got a chance to see Return of the Jedi about 5 years ago. I saw A New Hope, the original Star Wars flick, about 2 years ago with my cousin down at Wolf Trap. So really quick, give kind of a little bit of a difference. So seeing it in a concert hall, like an indoor concert hall, which is where I saw, because when I saw Return of the Jedi, it was at the Strathmore. Okay. So the acoustics are a lot better. You can hear everything. Going to see it at Wolf Trap, Wolf Trap is more of an outdoor venue.
Mm-hmm.
Had decent seats and all, but it's more of like a public gathering
like an amphitheater type thing.
Right. So, it wasn't that cheesy and everything, but it was still cool because you got the full orchestra.
Right.
So it's still fun that you're watching this movie that you've seen all these years on the big screen, but you have a live orchestra. And mind you, I have not seen any of these movies on the big screen since the re-releases in 97 and 98.
Right. So same here.
Yeah. So I got a chance to go see Empire last year. I had it on my calendar. I had my shirt ready. I was ready to go. And mind you, I had it on my calendar like 2 months early. As soon as I found out, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go see Empire. Go see the concert. Oh, one other big difference too is when you go to see these movies, there's an intermission.
Well, yeah,
because these folks, they ain't gonna play for 2 straight hours. They're gonna play.
I mean that's hard to do. That's a lot of physical labor right there.
That's a lot of work. So, and the other thing is that the biggest part of the experience is nearly all the music, and I'll explain why in a second. Nearly all the music is pitch perfect to the original soundtrack.
Wow.
Nearly. I'll come to that.
But that takes a lot of practice to be able to do that.
And does it. It really, really does. So anyway, we were supposed to go see Empire last year. Got in the car. I'm driving down to Wolf Trap. I'm excited. I'm psyched. I'm ready to go see some Empire. Like, yeah, let's get our Empire on. Get there, get out the car, and walking along. Now, mind you, the year before we had gone to see Star Wars, and everybody's out in cosplay and t-shirts, and you see all this stuff. So we walking along. People was dressed a little extra casual, I'm seeing some penny loafers and khakis and some. Meantime, I got my jeans and my Boba Fett shirt on. I'm like,
right.
Okay, maybe
you feeling underdressed.
No, way underdressed. I know what I saw the year before. I'm like, okay. I get to the ticket booth. Hi, my name is Harry. I'm here to pick up my tickets for Empire Strikes Back. The lady like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, is my name on the list? What you say your name was? About letting you with? She looked. You sure you want these tickets? Like, yeah. She's like, here. But just to let you know, the showing was last night.
Wait. Wow. How did that even happen?
Because Harry did not read.
Reading is fundamental.
And it's mental. And that's one of the very rare times I got myself in trouble because I did not properly read and plan. Because instead of me going out there on a Thursday, my ass is going out there on a Friday.
Damn.
I ain't gonna lie, I cried real tears on the way home.
I probably would have too.
I was in such a shock. Gina had to drive because I was just in the car, my head up on the window, like,
yeah.
Now, Here's where it gets even more funny. I get home, I turn on the television, I turn on USA. What's on?
Empire. Mother.
right at the snow battle. Right, I turn on right. It's like the universe is like.
Yep. Reading. You should read.
And you know, I sat there and I watched it.
Yep. You just like it.
So Gina was trying to understand why I was so upset, and I had to explain to her. I said, because the problem is when they do these concerts, this ain't something where you miss it, it'll be back. No. If it comes anywhere within breathing range, you better go, because they don't do these like in a circuit. Like if I miss this one, it's not going to be in Baltimore.
No.
It's not going to be local, which is why I started looking like the very next day, and I saw it was going to be in Pittsburgh, but the tickets didn't go on sale until after New Year's.
Okay.
And I was like, Pittsburgh was the closest, because every other place where it would have been like shouting distance, we would have had to fly.
Yeah.
Alabama, Florida, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like Empire. I don't know if I want to fly for it.
Mm-mm.
So Pittsburgh was the closest we was going to get. I went on ahead literally right after the New Year, before January was out. I already had the tickets purchased.
Okay.
And we just made plans like, we just going to have to drive, because it was a 4-hour drive, easily 4 hours, going and coming. Thank you, God, for cruise control.
Oh, yeah.
and of course, now one of my friends who's the biggest Star Wars fan as I am, she hits me up last month because I told her I was going to Pittsburgh. She said, well, it's coming here in because she's in Philly. It's coming here in Philly in July.
And Philly's closer, though.
Yeah.
Philly's 2 hours as opposed to 4.
But guess what? Because I said to Gina, I said, maybe I could sell the tickets, because that show was sold out. Let me tell you, that show was sold out.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. I said, because this was my punishment for not reading. Matter of fact, we're going to Pittsburgh. We've never been there. So we left.
In still a country.
Yeah, bruh.
Lord.
Yeah, we drove. You know what? I drove there and I drove back, and I enjoyed every bit of that show. Let me sidebar a little bit. The crazy part was this. So now, when you go to the movies, especially like if it's an opening night showing and everything, you're paying maybe $20-$25 per ticket and everything, and you might feel a little way somebody coming there and they got their baby with them, the baby screaming.
Oh yeah, you always gonna be like, look at them.
Right. And it's not too much you could do about it.
Right.
Well, let me tell you, somebody pulled that same stunt with Empire. By the way, when you're going to see one of these movies and you get a live orchestra,
nah, they probably kick you out.
Oh no, there's no probably to it, and I'm gonna explain why. Because first of all, them tickets ain't cheap.
No,
our tickets were $100 a pop. If you sat down there on the floor on the front row, $250 a pop.
Wow.
They don't play that.
Nah.
So right at intermission, the usher came in, had a couple of words, said, look, we understand that this is a family experience, but people pay money for their tickets. They want to be able to hear the movie and the orchestra. So if you leave, you have to keep them quiet or you have to go. Oh, they were gone.
Yeah. Sorry about your luck. Maybe you should have thought about that.
Yeah.
Before you purchased the ticket.
Because again, you're in a symphony house.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to respect the rules, and then people pay good money to be there.
Yep.
No. Now, the main thing was, remember what I said? They're damn near pitch perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They were the tiniest of addition, and it was great addition.
Ooh.
So matter of fact,
not off. It was on the other side of it.
Now the funny part was, now during the snow battle, and this is just a testament of how many times I have watched this movie over and over again.
Yeah, on Hoth.
Right. The track felt a little behind because I'm humming and I'm hitting this one part, and I'm like, wait a minute, they ain't that. No biggie, no biggie. But it was just the slightest bit off. I said to myself, yeah, I've watched this movie entirely too much to notice that. But the bigger part, the thing that they did that I was like, oh, I like the addition. The scene towards the end when right after Leia and Solo and Chewbacca got caught on Cloud City, right when they're walking them up to go freeze Han Solo and Carbon Freeze, the music is dun, 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 dun. So as that music is playing, there's certain parts where it's like dun, dun, then there's a bell. Boom, dun,
Okay. Okay.
boom. I'm like, yo.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
looking at me and she's like, "What?" I said, "I'll tell you after the movie because I didn't want to take the time."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Take out the experience.
right. I said that was an added touch and it was dope. She said, "Well, you know they probably played it." I said, "No."
Mm-mm,
And I had to, when I got home,
mm-mm.
watch the movie and I listened to the track. It's not in either one of them. That was something that they added, and it
That's cool. That's cool.
chef's kiss. I was like,
Yeah.
but yeah, but like you said, that is difficult. And then you got the other thing is too. I'm looking at the majority of the people that played in that orchestra. The majority of them were not alive when that original movie released. So yes, you're talking about people.
Fun fact. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Empire came out in May of 1980.
Yep.
I was born in June of 1980.
You weren't even here.
No. Okay. During its theatrical release, I was here.
Yeah, but you weren't here when it released.
The month after. I was.
Yeah. Ooh, I missed Empire. But again, it's just a testament to what people. Did you know the crazy part is, over the years, you've always had people that have come out with their own riffs on certain Star Wars tunes and stuff.
Yeah,
I could almost always tell, like when I'm listening to something, okay, that's not the way it was in the movies. Like you had somebody, Stan James and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra of Prussia. They're gonna have their own riff, but it's never like the original. But again, you got these movies and they have to be on point. They have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody, and not just the Star Wars movies, if you can find any movie that you really love and you can find a way to see it with a live orchestra, it hits so different.
You know what I would love to hear? Because my favorite Star Wars track, still to this day, and say what you will about the prequels.
Come on.
Duel of the Fates.
I knew you was gonna say that. Me and my boy James talked about
Duel of the Fates is unmatched. Duel of the Fates is unmatched. I don't care who you are, what you say, you can't sway me.
Perfect.
Duel of the Fates is unmatched.
Fighting music.
Yes.
Perfect. I bought that soundtrack just for that.
Yes.
Just for that.
You cannot touch Duel of the Fates, in my opinion.
I'm gonna tell you like this. In my opinion, John Williams' best two soundtracks from front to back was Empire and Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
In my opinion. Duel of the Fates and the Imperial March are the de facto tracks.
Yes, those are the two. Those are the two.
Yeah. Bar none. Like all the rest of the movies, like there are certain tracks that I like, but if like here, you need to listen to Empire Strikes Back from front to back. I'm good.
Yeah.
I like just about every, with the exception of maybe two, I liked everything on there. The Sith. Me and Gina was talking about this as we was coming home, and she was like, "And you?" Because she keeps asking me, like, "You've never played a musical instrument?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, what made you get into this?" I said, "The reason why I'm so heavy on Star Wars soundtracks because that's when I first realized, even when I was like 6 or 7, when these movies came out, that music really sets the tone."
Oh yeah, in a scene.
Yeah. It really sets everything. So it you can feel your body tense. You can feel your body tensing up at certain like Jaws, which also Williams did. And you just so yeah, it really. And I started learning over the years too. Okay, well, you got certain composers doing certain movies. Perfect point. I told Gina, it's crazy with the Star Wars movies and with the Lord of the Rings movies. Howard Shore, John Williams stand out. Yeah. However, all the Marvel movies that have come and gone over the years, with the exception of Black Panther, there's not really been any movies whose soundtrack like I have to have this soundtrack.
Well,
like the music.
So the Avengers track,
yeah,
is
but
yo, the Avengers track is
that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it's just that one song.
Very true. Very true.
You know. So, with that said, Mando and Grogu.
The first 25 minutes. Okay, I'm super excited because so Disney Plus had released on Star Wars Day, which was yesterday, as of the recording of this video, right? A little snippet or a clip, and I watched that clip and I was like, man, because I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, I really want to like this movie. I really want to love this movie. The clip that came out, I was like, man, like, I'm really liking this, but I still don't want to get too excited, right?
What clip did you get?
It was the clip where Mando and Grogu like were taking out the Imperial Walkers.
Okay, good. I could talk a little bit about that. But let me warn everybody right now, there will be like spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled at all,
yes,
turn this off. Please turn this off right now.
Because that made me really intrigued, because I was like, man, look, I've been wondering about this movie for a while, and I didn't want to get too excited because of where we are in the state of Star Wars right now. Yeah. But I'm like, when I saw that clip, I was like, ooh, I'm getting a little excited.
Okay. So I can tell you this much. That was the first 20, that was involved in the first 25 minutes of the clip. Now, my question still is this the true first 25 minutes of the movie, or are you like,
I would assume so, because at CinemaCon they kind of did the same thing and they showed the first few minutes, and from what I'm hearing, it's the same that people are saying from CinemaCon to what you saw. Okay.
Because I'm still curious to know, like, is this the first true 25 minutes, or is there a little bit more? Because I mean, it just jumped right in. Like, okay, we just gonna push him in the deep end of the pool, and you guys. Right. But the first 25 minutes was that, and then Mando and Grogu are sent on an assignment to go rescue someone for the Hutts.
Okay.
So again, if this is at CinemaCon,
and this is from Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the thing of it is the person that they're going to rescue might not need so much of a lot of rescue.
Okay.
But I can tell you this: the thing that I enjoyed the most about those first 25 minutes, which really made me more excited to see this movie. First of all, the smallest thing, I don't know if you saw it in your clip, was you got to see the inside of a walker.
Yes.
I was like, I didn't even know I needed that in my life, but
I know, right?
I'm like, oh,
okay. and the part where like the bombs were like, and Grogu was like,
hey, dude,
he's like, hey,
you notice some stuff. I got it, kid. Give me a second. I gotta shoot this dude down. But that whole opening, like I said, if that's how we start, and it's like you need to strap in. Because
I just wanted to continue. If everything continues on the ride that they even released, like I said, on Star Wars Day on Disney Plus, and I think you saw 25 minutes. I think they only showed like not even 10. On that clip, like maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I was hooked. I was already hooked.
Yeah. So I felt the same way, because it's like, okay, great. This is a good start. I love how much further Grogu has come along since, even because the crazy part is I'm going back watching season 3 just cause.
Yeah,
we wind up watching the whole thing all over again before the thing even releases. I just like kind of keep me in that frame of mind. I'm just going to watch the third season, but the animatronics and the CGI, what they did with Grogu looks a lot better, especially him walking around and stuff. But the biggest thing that got me was the place where Mando winds up traveling to before the clip is over. You're starting now to see a lot more of how grounded Star Wars can be. Like, we've been seeing this slowly over the years, but it's always great now when you can see what we don't have to have these movies in these remote places or on a space station or a battle. We could go to a city.
Yeah.
And even the city that they went to, it kind of gave me a little bit of a Blade Runner kind of a vibe to it,
Okay.
which was cool because
Yeah.
like we saw similar even with the original trilogies with how Coruscant looked like. We got these
Yeah.
deep, dark, and dank type places. So,
But even on Andor, in Andor, we got cities that look like,
right,
Blade Runner.
right, just a lot of lived in stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then because you saw he had the Razor Crest again. Miles,
Yeah. So I'm assuming it was rebuilt.
You assume correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the one thing that we haven't seen yet are what are its abilities, because I still want to know, does he still have a little portable carbon freezing thing on the ship?
Yep, there we go. Does he have a carbonite? Yeah, does he have a carbonite little freezer where he can just put people away real quick and get the bounty off of them?
Right. I can take you in hot, I'll take you in cold. All right.
Well, I have a question for you too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did you watch all of Rebels?
Yes.
Okay, me too. So seeing Zeb as well, I was also excited to see Zeb.
Yep.
So, the tie in to Rebels and all that, like you said, when we were talking about earlier before, we started recording, with Dave Filoni taking over. And like, I really like what Dave Filoni has been doing with all the animated stuff. And as we know, like, if you're a real Star Wars fan, that he was pretty much, George Lucas's apprentice. Yeah. So it's like, I didn't want to get too excited after he took over when Kathleen Kennedy left, but I'm like, it's kind of hard for me not to, where it's like, is Star Wars going to actually get back on track?
That's the hope. And I mean, they can with this is a start, because I mean, this is the first Star Wars movie in what, almost 6 or 7 years since.
Right. And so what they did was they wanted to take the most popular IP, and instead of making, like, from Star Wars, right? The thing that's most popular is Mando, of like the Disney era, right? So what they wanted to do is say, okay, well, let's get people back in the theaters. Instead of making a season 4, let's make a movie or a couple of movies for the next couple of seasons instead of making seasons, to get people back in the theater, to get people back excited about Star Wars movies.
Right. So this is what we got. This is what we got. And like I said, that 25 minutes pretty much sealed it. And like I said, I'm still not 100% certain, like, if this is the actual first.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're thinking about a 2-hour movie, what is 25 minutes? That's a fourth. That's a fourth of the movie if it's 2 hours.
And then because they really didn't do any setup for the character that they were tracking, with the exception of it was a bounty that he was after. So I want a little bit more tie-in for that.
Yeah.
So the other thing was too, going back to your thought, I'm also speculating if this is the way forward. At some point, we got to grow Grogu up a little bit, because Grogu is 50 years old, which he's still an infant.
Right.
So here's the thing.
Because what I'm also hearing is, if the Rey movies, right, are going to still happen, Grogu's supposed to be in those, but of course he's going to be much older, because that'll be another 50 years.
Right.
So because it's hard to say, like, in 50 years he's still a baby, but in the next 50 years he's going to be an adult. Actually, like, how does that work?
Well, actually, no. Hold up. Here's the thing, because we got to remember, Mando stories take place like within the first 5 to 10 years after the fall of the Empire.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm doing some math real quick. So when Rey comes along, she's about 19 or 20 years old. So about 25 years after the fall of the Empire, when you have the New Order, then that falls with the new trilogies, and then with the movie that they're supposed to be putting out with Rey, bringing back the Order, that's supposed to be about 15 to 20 years. So that'll put her in about her 30s or 40s, because she's already 34 years old anyway.
Okay.
So, at that point, Grogu will probably be a speaking child, but he might already be wise in the ways of the Force. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
So, because matter of fact, this is what I was explaining to Gina last night. My speculation is, if they chart this carefully, because the funny thing is this: even in the trailers, Mando is like, Grogu is going to be around long after I'm gone.
Right. That's what he says.
Right. So if you go by the logic that he's using, which he's, right to know, because I mean, Yoda lived almost 1,000 years.
Yeah, he lived nine. If 900, you become as good as me,
Yeah,
you will not look.
big old ass, no Botox. Look at this.
Right.
I still like 500. So if you go by that logic, I was telling Gina, I said they could set a way, like if you want new Star Wars movies for another generation of kids that are coming up now, getting into Star Wars without having to reach on the shelf for the old characters. By the time the Rey movies come out, you could age Grogu up enough to either helping her train or him being adept, because we got to remember,
Yeah.
already in the Jedi Temple.
Yes.
So
he's been there. He's been there before.
Right. So he should probably be training her, or at least in the sense. Either way, he needs to have a heavy presence in the new theaters. So I mean, in the new movies, TV shows, and all that stuff. So you have like a nice clean slate of all these new characters you could bring into that universe for a new generation.
And what if he's the next Jedi / Mando? Remember, like,
yeah,
well, he could also be wielding the Darksaber.
That part too.
Because I mean, we do know like the Darksaber was created by the first Mando Jedi.
Jedi. Yep.
And he could be the next Mando Jedi.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of room for growth if they do it right. And I mean, Dave Filoni is that dude.
Yeah.
I think he could get them back on track. So yeah, you just got to get Mando out the door, get that done right. If you're going to bring back Rey, you got to bring it back in such a way that, you got to bring some of those characters back too, because I'm sure Oscar Isaac and help me out, Finn,
yeah.
Yeah. Because you got to complete Finn's story arc, because
because I mean he was always supposed to be Force sensitive, and you know why they kind of went away from that in the movies, right?
Well, you know what? I actually don't think they can make up their mind. I mean, we know why.
We know why.
Yeah,
they're catering to the Chinese market.
Yeah,
because that's the largest market.
Yep.
And they don't particularly care for us.
Yep. So
that's the thing.
Or another. So
unless you're Samuel Jackson.
That part.
Like that's okay, but nobody else.
Yeah. So on that note, we're gonna wrap this up. The movie comes out on the 22nd. I'm already there.
Dude, I cannot. You have not, because like we discussed off camera, Maul is really good.
Yeah.
Maul is really good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to be too excited, but I'm really getting excited again about Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. And I can't necessarily say go back and watch, Mando and Grogu again, because, watch it again if you just want to get excited. But I don't think there are going to be too many Easter eggs from.
You don't really have to rewatch.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because
even a YouTube recap will suffice.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. So hopefully we're going to have some stuff that's going to drop our way, so that way we can kind of get back on track here after this hiatus. I appreciate you all for watching us. I know we kind of took a little long, but it was worth it. Make sure that you're hitting that like and subscribe button, and we will see you all later
in the next one.